of that, and that's over 5 finals as well. You could maybe even look to draw parallels to like the Liquid of old during the Astralis era, where they always had this consistent villain denying them these trophy lifts. It was Vitality for the longest time, but that started to change now, right? Some losses to Spirit in there. MOUZ starting to find some new enemies in their rogues gallery.
Yeah, it's a full curse, isn't it? They finally take down Vitality and then they fall to Spirit in a final anyway. So MOUZ definitely looking to come in hot to this game. Do not underestimate them, despite all the hype around Falcons right now.
The stakes on it for MOUZ is, if they lose this is their worst finish since this, string of playoff runs. They've always made it to the semis at least.
Oh, that's a nice move, but it only nets 1 kill. Honestly, moves up, kicks in on the short side, bomb getting planted, Brolin with a quick tap, and he's read the close position, but it's not enough. There's no teammate to trade. Spinks moving in, Jimmy saves him. 2v3, Nico and m0NESY.
I mean, this is supposed to be the diamond duo for Falcons. These were the two that quieted down back in Cologne. And so now Nico, his first round here on the stage in this quarterfinal is a 1v2 clutch. Toshi holds on. Nico with the swing, Defuse being stuck. And that's just robbed right out from under Nico. Never even goes for the fight. He calls their bluff. MOUZ get off to the races with a pistol round win.
Very wide stick there for Jimmy. Just getting it done. Nico saw the tether. He could see that defuse happening, but couldn't find the angle. Of course, he's just keeping the pressure on. Good round from Jimpat, expecting things today because he had a great game against VP. This has been the player that's been struggling the most for MOUZ, especially in these stage games, right? Came out into this MOUZ team with a bang, looked incredible in his first couple of events, but as of late has been struggling. Maybe that new 3.0 rating doing him some favors. An impactful player at his best. Not meant to be the star of the show. He had a great game against VP. So I want to see if that continues into this quarterfinal. Falcons find a force by AK on m0NESY. Let's see what these rifles can do.
Haven't even really touched on Kiyosuke yet either, right? Obviously, he was the one very exciting thing about that Cologne finish. He finished that event second highest rated player. That's in spite of them falling out far short of expectations. It was a great debut tournament from him individually.
Yeah, not many maps played, but when he was playing, he really just rose through the ranks. Had a phenomenal game against Fury despite the loss. Was really the only guy holding Falcons up to a degree. A couple of moments from m0NESY, but Nico really struggled at that event. So Kiyosuke, high expectations delivered, but now it's about consistency, keeping it going again and again and again, event to event. And this is what Falcons are here for. This is what they play for. A lot to prove at EWC. Kiyosuke found first. Nico trades. The A split's happening.
Tessa's now armed as well after picking up that AK. And the plant found, CT plant at that, with Red Room taken by the Falcons earlier on. How's it going to try and lend some time to Brolin on this flank?
It's got to be a kit down, but where is it? It's either Temple or CT. They've got to go find it right now. Roland moving in, catches a player, looking the wrong way, and a dink followed up, but a strong position for Nico with a crossfire on Tesses. MOUZ have got to get moving. They've got to get moving right now. That kit's still not retrieved. It must be in Temple. 2v2 tap. Nico with a chance, misses his shot. Jimpat followed up onto, and Tesses in the clutch, just buying enough time to win this round. I think the clock's decided it. Tesses refuses to give this round away, and MOUZ must save. Falcons find their force buy.
Great stuff from Tesses. Right, not one of these like superstar pieces of the Falcons lineup, but looking for good, reliable output. And I mean, you've heard from guys like Pimp, he calls him, maybe even the best Danish player. This is, of course, in an era where Denmark slipped down those rankings individually.
And we've been saying that about Tesses for a while, right? Before this latest blockbuster Kiyosuke move, even when Falcons were struggling, Tesses was that guy putting on strong performances. And you think in this lineup, the firepower available, you wouldn't need to be the best player from your country if you're a guy like Tesses.
1-2 punch, Nico and Kiyosuke up through ramp. Nico run out, but there's the trades. It's Tessez to find it as the rest of the gang just explode through that ramp smoke. Tessez even taking real estate away out here on long. Is going to get overran. Kickstand, backstab. It's a little ugly, but able to make amends. And Torshi just too far removed on this round.
Sigh of relief for Falcons more than anything. That was a hard round to lose. Kixon's missed spray opened a world for MOUZ. Just to save for Torshi, and no real reason to hunt this kill for m0NESY. He's going to have a look. But a safe exit for Falcons, saves 3 guns. And starts to build up this T side on Ancient against G2. We saw 7 rounds for Falcons. Found the first 3. Lost 3 in a row to 4 buys. And then started trading out rounds for a 7-5 half. So they're on for a similar path right now. Winning out the conversion is the last thing to do. A lot of entry power on this T side for Falcons.
Let's go, bro.
So this feels like a very strong map for them. One they've tried to make their own.
And with that kind of early elimination from Cologne, it did give them a number of weeks in between then and now to try and strengthen the playbook a little bit here, get everyone on side.
Also the choice to skip a couple of events as well. Probably a necessary time for this team to do so. The prep has to pay off this.
All right, Nico. It's only pistols, sure, but a nice confidence-boosting round here. As he manhandles the cave, it's a clean finish from the Falcons. Gonna make some money at the tail end of this round. Nico rounds it out with 4. Now we get to see our first look at that MOUZ buy.
Been a struggling map for MOUZ. Ancient has. Despite a huge streak earlier in the year. Last 6 outings, 5 losses, only a win over Bait online, and that's despite 3 close games against Spirit. So you feel like MOUZ at least have the experience, they have the tape, even if they don't have the victory in their pocket. No kit in this round again. MOUZ already down to just smokes, nothing more. It's going to be hard to make plays, get aggressive on this CT side. They've got to read right and put their pieces in the right place. Right now, hedging their bets on the B side. Jimmy blocking Donut. He's got a lot on his plate.
Exertion and Jimmy walking up, going to try and assemble this boost. The timing for it, Jimmy holds on with 3, and there's Exertion swinging out to lend a helping hand. Falcons wanted this A hit, low and slow, but they play right into the hands of MOUZ.
Not going to outlook Spinks, Nico. Very late on the other side of the map. You can try, but get man walking. Take the bomb if you want. There is no sight open in this 1v4. So Kixon might just be combat saving. Huge shutdown for Exertion and Jimmy. Great move to make in the mid round. The whole map is quiet. They've got smokes to block. Middle seems empty, and MOUZ just throw a boost up. They have shadow advantage. Jimmy keeps it going for 2 kills and a dink on the 3rd. That's the output we need from Jimmy today in those anchor positions. That's what we got against VP. High impact impact round gives MOUZ a bye.
Yeah, that's good, perfect.
with that first round. It's a clean shutdown. Chance to start building up some of their own money, embarking on their own streak here if they can find success. Up against another Falcons full buy. Little timeout ahead of this round. Onik having a chance to weigh in. He knows the importance of it. They don't want the MOUZ to suddenly come back into this game. You got that win in the force buy, the conversions on the back of it. Falcons feeling like they're off to a great start, but you know how quickly these circumstances can change.
Honestly, going for a mid-pick, they break the smoke for him, but can't connect. It's a timer on that play. Another nade, he's not close enough to exploit it. Meanwhile, MOUZ make a move, pushing through the smoke, something we know Brolin's going to be doing a lot in this CT side. Comes out with a kill and clears B lane entirely. Not seeing Nico on his jaunt out middle, playing towards B in the majority of these rounds. Maybe a recent change for Falcons on this T-side default. It's been Kiyosuke, it's been m0NESY attempting these opening kills, and now MOUZ just disappear, not allowing anyone to trade back. Even backing out on the B-bomb site. This does lose them info, and may even force a rotation. With Exertion jumping in mid, there's still information to be gathered. Close shot, doesn't connect. Gotta watch out for the nade, and Kiyosuke barely survives.
It's thin margins there on a 5v3, but yeah, Kiyosuke still kind of hanging on in this round.
Super strong setup right now for MOUZ, only susceptible to this A split. As long as Jimmy can get a kill out from this position, MOUZ are fine.
There's going to be a lot of responsibility here on Exertion if this play looks to link up for the A split. He's responsible for watching this red room. Might look to trade out positions with Torshi eventually, but now he takes his eyes off the prize. That's to get the smoke in over towards main, and Falcons are actually going to play through this smoke. Exertion caught. You needed a multi-kill from him because now Jimmy's left all alone.
Trouble.
And closing in on this split, Jimmy tries to make a move now at the top of that bomb. 2 kills from the impact. Nico finally putting him down, but no time to win this. Jimmy disrupts, and Falcons just barely get out with 1 gun saved.
Yeah, clock really running dry for Falcons. MOUZ decide to give up everything, right? They fall back from B lane, they fall back from middle. They buy just enough time. And Falcons fake that plant because they know Jimmy can swing in at a moment's notice. The Tesses and m0NESY both low, or Kiyosuke rather. No one can flush out Jimpat. That's 2 high impact rounds for the young Finn.
I think the thing for Falcons is you don't want to kind of catch this feeling at the start of this season. Post the Kiyosuke signing that you've regressed. If you remember, there was a time period where we were kind of getting hyped up around Falcons with Magic in the lineup that they might be one of the teams to challenge Vitality for that top spot. Thinking back to Melbourne there as a successful outing for this squad.
An event where they beat MOUZ in the playoffs and they dominated them as well.
Number of good event finishes, and then you kind of bring in, I would say, the most anticipated player, even ahead of someone like Donk, just because Kiyosuke kind of got the hype from how successful the Donk move was.
Yeah, people didn't want to miss the boat on this transfer day. It's hard to compare, though. I mean, the mechanics are certainly there for Kiyosuke, but I think the thing that was still the most astounding thing about Donk is that he's just completely unbothered by any stakes, any factors, stage, online, groups, doesn't matter. Doing it in the grand finals like it's just a normal day. Kiyosuke still has to prove he can adjust to the pressure in this round, succeeding, but still a 1v5 essentially. The pressure put on by this cave play gives him room. The reload comes in, he hunts the kill. 3rd frag for Kiyosuke before the AWP stops him at the door. A nice try to get some value out of that round with a 1 AK, but it's still MOUZ building into this game.
You just breathe a sigh of relief there if you're Torshi. You know, the ball was very much rolling on this round. That's Kiyosuke with hot hands, 3 kills deep on his way to a clutch.
Love how he jumps that kill as well, realizing Spinks has wasted his mag. He doesn't take the free chance to plant, he just goes for the kill on the pistol. and there he is, cracking open mid again, but it's Jimpat in a different position with the same results. 3 kills from young Jimmy. They finally put him down, but Brolin's cave position noted. And unstoppable is his B-lane aggression.
Dude, if this is going to be the form that Jimmy gives us this tournament, it's a hell of a reason to get excited for MOUZ. It's his departure, you know, as you said, when he first kind of moved into this squad, the thing that was so excited about him is he was putting up star player numbers, not in star player positions or roles. And for a while now, you've seen him quieten down.
Oh my God, that worked.
Okay.
Of course, he really tried to force it in the molly after tagging Monacy. It's led to his death. You would like to count him out with 17 points of health, but this is Monacy we're talking about. Issue is, first player to fight. It's the last you expect on this flank.
The fact this round's kind of gone by so quickly and there's so much time left is why it's kind of tricky for MOUZ here, right? If the clock's low, you know he is to commit to A. But Monacy slows down and goes completely quiet here. That kind of gives MOUZ a bit of doubt. They send Spinks over towards that B site. He holds on there long enough, decides eventually he hasn't heard anything, and so that's kind of the giveaway that Monacy's still floating around inside of A. Roland makes his move now. Expect to see more of this. Him on these flanks in through main. So Brolin is the safety net on that round.
Plays it perfectly as well because so long the Monacy's looking for a player. After 20 seconds of silence, you don't think you're just going to get random timing. And Roland walks in on that flank he could have done half a minute earlier. Jimmy said he's not in star player positions, put up on Heaven, sends him to hell. 3 kills with a beautiful spray. Torshi may have died for that tag, but it makes the finishing blow that much easier for MOUZ. 4 rounds in a row. Oh my God. Pistols here for Falcons, popping through the cave. Watch out.
Torshi, eyes on.
Oh.
Explode in through ramp. No cover here on the wrap out of Kiyosuke. So that one's picked up. Tech9 for Kixan takes it even further, and we end up in a 3-on-3. That's in spite of a nice hold to open up. Just losing track of Kiyosuke in the chaos. Might prove to be your undoing. It's an Exertion flank this time with Spinks mopped up. Exertion has to try and do the heavy lifting. Left to Jimmy. Not going to find a thing as Kiyosuke and Kixan arise to the occasion on that low buy round for the Falcons.
Yeah, it all comes down to Kiyosuke taking that space, jumping through the smoke. Torshi's story got past him, but he tried to pluck a player from the back with a rescope. Gets shot in the back of the head, hands over an orb, and space gets taken by the Falcons. That seems like some miscoming maybe for MOUZ. The smoke comes down on long. No one has cover for Torshi.
Yeah, that whole round is just sort of losing track of yourself for MOUZ, losing track of your opponents.
And look what it's done to the money, right? Some clutch rounds, some close ones. And with Falcons winning an eco, MOUZ now have their final purchase. They do 5v4 onto Kixan though. It's going to make life easier.
He likes these spam battles, but they're not liking him back in this round. Monacy, they're walking on you down the ramp, and that weapon switch couldn't be worse timed. The quick switch cost him his life, and Nico's not able to remedy it. This was MOUZ with broken money, but now they're sat real pretty in a 4v2.
And this is what Reps does, right? This is recent experience for MOUZ. They're playing very well off each other. The synergy is there. Falcons haven't been playing the officials. MOUZ are just crunching lane, pushing through smokes, walking down ramp, and catching Falcons on seemingly random timings, but they're working so well. 1-2 punch here. MOUZ get an advantage, and again, they pull back. They give Falcons all the room, but nowhere to go. Both sites being considered. Orp on the line. B is a little susceptible with this setup from MOUZ, but they can play retake, right? Just can't lose anyone for free.
I mean, you're glad you get the early warning system there, the shots raining in, and Torshi allowed to reposition. You get gun on in time, and he will deliver. Orb hits hard. And so no 2v4 today. MOUZ in with a great chance of winning out this half now as they start to take control in the late game. And They've got one more bite to break through.
Oh, Torshi's on it. Fantastic shots. Falcons again piecing together what they can. Galil's rife in this T side. The B rushers have been their best bets.
Up and in again with just this blistering pace. Spinks was caught out last time, in danger of it happening once more as he's sandwiched m0NESY. Crazy sequence, 3 kills deep. He wants to round it out with a 4th. Torshi won't let him have that.
Just save.
But the round is already banked up for the Falcons. And it's in all the minutiae in these complicated plays where they're taking the pace out of it that they've struggled. These faster, direct rounds up the B ramp. I feel a little too simple, but you can't argue with the results here.
Absolutely. I don't even think it's just even coming down to complications. Sure, there's been some slower rounds for Falcons and the one where they lost the time after walking through the red smoke, but I think it's just been the fact that when they sit back in default, MOUZ have been finding the moves, MOUZ have been making the plays, and Falcons would rather go down on their terms. So quicker approach again. Grouped pack counter-strike. m0NESY excels. Even on the AK. 3 kills to get them over the line and give them 5 on this T side. Good opportunity to make that better. We're going to have 2 M4s and an AWP here for MOUZ in the final round of their defense. This spray, uncounterable. Both teams really doing more with less.
And I think one of the things that's a little nerve-wracking here heading into the final round of the half is, you know, you're a little more limited in terms of the util, and these B rushes have been a problem, so you have to take that into account, really. You're going to dump a lot of this utility from the rip. And so maybe Falcons do try to come in with a bit of a slower round here, knowing the limitations for MOUZ. Boost up in middle, a gimmick to try and get this opening kill. Hoping they can catch someone scaling up heaven. Thinking that that's maybe a response from MOUZ to these B plays. And that's given Kixan a real security blanket here to go for this control.
Roland just maximizing value from this limited util that you mentioned. They've got a kid on Torshi, who smokes in an HE. It's really not a lot to play with here for MOUZ.
And here is that paranoia in these B hits, right? Yeah, you've burnt through everything and there's still 1 minute and 15 left on the clock.
5v4 makes things easier, but Roland forced to make a reposition. He's burning alive. Just finds a cubby on top of the box, and that nade falls short. Could have made all the difference. Torshi here to back him up, but ever wary of the ramp contact that Falcons have abused all T-side long. Nico peeked into by the AWP. Falcons top performer dead. 3v5 in their final round.
Tessa's going to try and catch a timing here in through the red room, and if he goes right now, he will find it. Instead, it's a block on the other side. Oh, Zesha's just lobbed one in as well. Roland picked up in the meantime over towards B. How's Tessa's supposed to link back up with him, though, with Exertion covering this cross? He just tries to fade through the smoke. m0NESY in the meantime, up ramp, deals with Spinks, and so Torshi feels like he's got to have eyes in the back of his head. He's dealt with Tessez on the backstab. That opens up the retake here for MOUZ. Bomb plant found, but very claustrophobic for Falcons. They're trapped in at the site. There's some pressure alleviated by Kixan. Slows down, grouping on short. Kixan found cleanly. m0NESY spotted, but taps as he tries to close this. 2 top performers for either side clashing in this 1v1, and m0NESY seals it with those taps. Tied up on the half as Falcons rally back in, still in with a chance on their pick of Ancient.
to move for the night, yeah. Trying to lose myself on the night shift, outside, yeah. Taking over control, can you feel it? Our bodies moving closer, is it real? Trying to lose myself on the night shift, outside, yeah. Baby, can you feel me? Come try, yeah. I'm ready to move for the night, yeah. Trying to lose myself on the night shift, outside, yeah.
An even game here between Falcons and MOUZ. We've started off on the Falcons pick of Ancient. Map they've tried to make home. Getting off to a great start, having to recover in the late game. m0NESY, one to offer up the goods on that tying round to close out the half. Staring down the barrel of the camera, he knows that was a clean clutch.
Two big 3Ks for m0NESY on the B-bomb site to win out. Two important gun rounds for Falcons.
I mean, refreshing to see m0NESY and Nico up top of the board. Given that they were the two worrying signs from Cologne.
Oh my God, look at this stack though. Couldn't be further from the right place. It's going to have to be retake here for Falcons. Alarm bells ringing as that deep smoke comes down, and MOUZ, sooner they plant, odds raising. Cave control with a long plant is a little dangerous. MOUZ going to reposition. Put Jimmy over on long.
I mean, look, you knew this was an option if you're Falcons. You had to be prepped for it. They have a flash and a smoke on Kicksan. Nade even to break open this block smoke for MOUZ, but it doesn't go swimmingly. Coming through this choke point into the crossfire. Falcons decimated, and Spinks one shy of the ace. Does the heavy lifting in that pistol.
It's just such a comfortable chokehold there. That position very hard to get through. And Glocks v USPs. No util will save you there. Idea was nice, but MOUZ had so much space. Spinks with a big 4K. And MOUZ this time, the chance to convert. They couldn't do it on their first pistol. We had the force buy on T-side come through. But this is just 4 USPs, so little donut stack. MOUZ taking their time. A sweet treat in the center, waiting for MOUZ.
Yeah, best bit of the donut is the middle. They're not to know about it yet.
Spinks Spinks getting inquisitive, but don't expect him to play first in this round. It's going to be a one-man execute here for Brolin, 2 smokes. And with Donut cut off, might just answer the round here for MOUZ. Falcons can run through, that's all they've got.
Just anything, a little bit of damage would go a long way.
Gotta go.
Gonna try and run through on the tap.
What?
And nobody lives. It's a complete shutdown again.
That's during the plant. I mean, Torsi gets off it, sure, but still crazy. Not a single kill comes through. MOUZ with their eyes on the prize. The jammy play for Falcons.
I just think with Jimmy playing really well, there's such an X factor for MOUZ here, something that hasn't necessarily been there for them throughout this year. With him showing us shades of the old Jimmy, the one that used to get you real excited for his future in this MOUZ squad. And everyone else playing up to the level. It's added an extra layer of difficulty to this for the Falcons. Roland tries to break through on the cave side. Spinks will secure that trade, and that's an uncomfortable fight for him, so he does well to find the 4v4.
A little delayed on that reswing. I didn't think it was going to come through, but Spinks risks it all. That can be a 5v3 with MOUZ having no control. So a high impact refrag coming there. Roland forever aggressive on these T sides. But all the better are MOUZ for it. Spinks could get wall banged out if he jumps. Going to give the game away. Deep Molotov isolates Kiyasuke. Good flash dodge, but there's 2 players here, and Torshi's good for the trade. Push back into B is Kixon. Zersha making a crazy play. Nico's ready. And they wanted to bail to middle. They changed their mind after that death. Back to B, into Kixon. 1 more kill before all is said and done. Jimmy's thrust into another clutch. He's been on the ball so far.
Nico creeping up at long. That's kind of the contentious point that Jimmy might not be ready for. Kixan has fully embarked on this wraparound, trying to take cave space away.
Oh,
and he's not even going to be required. It's the Monacy smoke spam that seals the deal for Falcons.
Whatever it takes, they'll take it. This is MOUZ's bonus gone. So 4x comes in strong here for Falcons. A little bit of risk, a little bit of randomness thrown in by MOUZ. It was what was getting them many CT side advantages with these B pushes. They come through 2 smokes in this round. Falcons able to stop one of them.
Play out in towards middle here for MOUZ. It's Exertion leading the charge. It's been good at taking this space away. So MOUZ might look to do something with it. It's great damage for Tesses. 2 players brought down low on the spam. So back towards A for MOUZ. Falcons too strong here. It's Monacy and Nico. Both up top of the board. The multi-million-dollar duo that thrust Falcons into the limelight in the first place. That's what MOUZ are going to have to break through. Ollie in, buys you a couple more seconds. There's a block, a smoke down. No need to break this. MOUZ left playing through. It's a good flash. Monacy toppled after just 1. Jimmy provides both the openings. Oh. Will get his comeuppance. It's spam for Kixan, trying to claw this one back. Really expect a late lurk for Spinks, a lurk that's got to get a move on as Brolin's left scrapping for control over the bomb site. His teammate very far away, and with Brolin toppled, Spinks has got to save the day. Lurking in late, he's got no time to go quietly. Running the whole way, Falcons know where he is, and it's Kiyasuke to finish the job.
Love the Falcons stay aggressive in that round, right? The deep molly behind the smoke makes you feel like you're going to get the plant off, but Kixon was already coming through with a flashbang, committed to that move. And even though Jimmy breaks through with a double entry onto Nico and m0NESY, feels like a perfect storm for MOUZ to run away with that round. Smoke spam, flash through, Falcons unrelenting on that retake. Never let MOUZ get comfortable. And so that's MOUZ's money gone late in the day. This is now Falcons' game to lose. Advantaged on the better side. And the chance to build up even more capital here, as MOUZ have one deagle. It's still Jimmy all the way, the forefront of so many of these rounds for MOUZ.
In this slowdown round, you know, using it like a bit of a timeout, I've seen Spinks talking a hell of a lot down the line. It was him who, in that last round, was left to the extremities of the round that slipped through the fingers of MOUZ, so maybe looking for a bit more of an active stance for Spinks. He seemed like he was at the center of the conversation. Yasuke overran. Jimmy's deagle finds him, but how much more exciting can this round get with Nico moving in and playing cleanup? Round gets put down, and any excitement ends with that deagle drop. The gun too far away for Brolin to retrieve. He's grabbed the deagle, but Nico will not let him through.
Ooh. All good.
Lead taken for the Falcons, and they're in a very powerful position. MOUZ might have taken that last round as a bit of a timeout, but they call in one nonetheless. Chance for Cyclone to get involved.
All smiles for Falcons, right? You feel like the game is open. There's a lot you can do here on the CT side. We saw the hijinks MOUZ are up to with their aggression. Falcons haven't had to show too much in the second half, just been playing pretty lax on middle. m0NESY, Nico in the A-bomb site.
I think that's one of the things that's actually felt kind of scary is that, yeah, MOUZ are being given a good chunk of runway to make these plays, and even when they found the openers, it's not translated into these round wins.
It's kind of the meta right now not to commit to these mid-fights on CT side. MOUZ threw it in once or twice in their first half, but for the most part, Zertian back in spawn, holding the wrap. Always going to get those nades in just to keep the pressure on. Mollies and nades, or bludgeon MOUZ. Brutal damage early in the round. Kicks and even spams out Spinks. So all of that conversation, last round, forget about it.
That was Spinks trying to be a bit more decisive in this lane take, going there early.
Now MOUZ are just forced into a B execute. Another strong grenade. A bit higher on that spam, would have been a 5v3. Falcons very comfortable in this B bomb site, 3 players strong.
And even now, Falcons still looking for even more.
This is perfect.
Aggression down the ramp. This is while MOUZ are trying to rejig their setup and their util, so they're going to catch them with nades out. Tessez multi-kill and Torchy thrust into a clutch. No room to work with. Falcons keep the pressure on. That's double digits now. Money broken for MOUZ. And the alarm bells are ringing as Falcons take full control of Ancient.
Hey, Kixon's a fearless captain. He's a guy who's going to call moves like that, right? Typically, you would expect Nico to be a guy to make a lot of mid-round decisions, make a lot of calls on his side of the map, on CT side. That's why it's so interesting to see him on an A anchor position, solo in his bomb site. But the move still happens nonetheless. Falcons collapse upon MOUZ. This T side running out of room. One eco, thinking about back to those B hits from Falcons. MOUZ will try their hand at it. Strong position for m0NESY. Him and Kixon find 4 between them. Haven't seen anyone play Cubby, but perfect round to do it is against the pistols. No spam to collect, and no kill here for MOUZ.
I mean, MOUZ can fully feel that they've lost their grip on this game. As mentioned in the beginning, it was quite passive from Falcons. They were willing to sit back, let MOUZ run their strats, faith in those retakes, faith in maneuvering their pieces around in the right way to make it happen. But as the game is dragged on here, Falcons now are taking more and more liberties. This was a well-placed stack in this round. Good read of the situation, the limited options available to MOUZ at a low econ point in the game, but in that last rifle round, it was aggression. That was the aim for Falcons. At all turns, now they're trying to remove options from the playbook for this MOUZ team.
And this is a time when MOUZ have to prove they are their championship level, that we know they can be, the team that runs to finals, a team that takes down everyone but vitality and spirit. That clear third piece to recover in a very difficult game. 11-8 down on a T-side, on a map that has not done you well in recent tournaments. Now's the time to prove it, MOUZ. They avoid those early mid-nades, ever present. One does catch exertion, but he still comes through.
He goes through on kind of a second timing, though, to dodge that other nade from Kiyosuke. That was the one that put him in the hurtful position of like 10 HP in the last round. So a little adaptation to still get this mid control, but just suffer less in the process. It's another round where Falcons sit back passive.
Timing.
Triple lean over towards B, and Spinks caught on an awkward timing. More spam damage for Kixan. It really is a bit of a hallmark for him of this Ancient. Feels like he's always good at finding connections on that spam.
There's a mid-round move for Nico. He's cleared out a lot of position. He's confirmed what they already know. It's a B play at this point in time. Unless MOUZ make a very late rotate and the whole map is dark when they have no information, they're going to be walking into one hell of a stack.
And I mean, this push from Nico is nice because right now, Kiyosuke and Kixan were both holding on to the red room wrap because they don't have mid-info, while m0NESY now moves back over and actually clears this space. And so now it feels almost certain that this B play is coming in.
Oh, so much damage, still no kills.
Super wounded, but there's Torshi and an opening for MOUZ, a chance to get the move on. Util in will delay this plant with little time left. That could be a problem. Kiyosuke, smoke spam connects. Looking for even more. MOUZ on the reloads, might want to go through, but they've timed this. So they never have two players reloading at once, and Nico's even on this backstab.
He's got it.
Moving in, Brolin caught. No turn for Jimmy. He's battling these long players, and so Nico just collects all the free kills on that wrap round.
Setups have just been super strong here for Falcons, right? Not just the mid-round aggression, knowing when to play retake, giving up the entirety of the B-bomb site. I'm sure at that point they feel like they've done a lot of damage with their HEs down lane, with their wall banks constantly, and two players just get full smoke spam. Torshi 100 to 0. Makes matters easy. And Nico mops up. This is Falcons ready to close their map pick. 6 rounds straight.
I mean, MOUZ have had better success in these opening fights. They've been the team frequenting 5v4s. It feels like even that started to change as the game's gone on. But they've struggled at converting even with those man advantages. So if that isn't enough, what is? It's down to the cobbled together buy here to close. Back to that mid control again.
Oh, careful.
So many of these rounds have had the same ebb and flow for MOUZ, which is get mid, scale up heaven, and then look for this B play. With a double cave set up to try and repel this lane control. That's no longer an option for MOUZ. They've got to look elsewhere.
With the timing is starting to be opened up by Kixan. Back to clearing red. Teammate right beside him. A 2-on-2 here in the red room. Dead is the first. Kixan and Kiyosuke found by the AWPer. Jimpat takes a space. Falcons miss his timing entirely. It sets him up for retake, but these players are boxed in right now. They're not moving this bomb, waiting for a reaction. What they're gonna get? Will it go their way? Nico peels ahead off, walks back to that A site. Jimmy coming in to assist. They've read this wrong. m0NESY's been here the whole time. Jimmy hyper aware. The kill feed tells the story of this round. Nico is still here.
Nade finds damage. Can Nico close this here and now in the clutch? Been a great showing from him in this game already. Can Nico remind us all just what he's capable of? Unplanted, he's fixated on this CT position. Sees where that bomb's planted now, and so cognizant of a player back in main, he's going to go hunting. But no one's giving him these fights, not for free. No one wants to be that first domino to fall. On the way to a Nico clutch, exertions, patience is rewarded. And MOUZ stay in this for one more round.
That's a very scary round. The mid-round moves, the freeze in red room, losing ahead there. But MOUZ don't panic, they stay calm. Jimmy takes the space afforded on A. And even though the move is good for Falcons to group up red there and fight together, Porsche with some keen shots on the AK. Someone needed to bail MOUZ out. Oh my God, exertion, risking it all here. AIDS will come in late again. More damage done. Spinks even low on this B aggression. Tessus comes out to assist from heaven. MOUZ just speed up on A, but with no CT smoke, it's a shooting ground for m0NESY.
And you see that AWP, it's a huge red flag. It slows the play down. It gives Falcons time to move more bodies over. Now Nico joins the fight. Throw it in to Jimmy and exertion. It's just Kiyosuke, but he's making it work. 2 clean kills, that's the boost. Exertion trying to run through.
Another case where Spinks is left to nothing on the wrong side of the map, not making a move, too low to want to risk it. There's space to take, he's not doing it. MOUZ can group up in middle for kills, but it is again on Torshi.
I mean, even then his path to rotate is just so long. He has to do this pretty quietly too. Whole time, you know, Falcons could have gone anywhere, and eventually the clock becomes the driving fact here for Torshi. Swing out from Spinks is punished. Falcons have the victory teed up right here. The best spot they're going to be in to do so. One man between them, and a pretty decisive win here on Ancient. Oh. Jump up for Tessus, seals the deal, and Falcons get off to a flying start in this quarterfinal. Domination on Ancient to open, only a close first half to talk about. MOUZ were never in that second half of play. And so for Falcons now, they return to Inferno. That's MOUZ's pick in this series. It's a map we have now. Haunting memories here for the Falcons. This was the map that saw them eliminated from the Austin Major in shocking fashion. And so a redemption arc chance. Kiyosuke in the squad now, but this is not a map frequented by the new player, the much anticipated star of the Falcons. 1 game professionally logged on this map, and even in his downtime, he's played it 37 times. That's across CSGO and CS2.
37 Inferno pugs.
So he's had 38 games ever on this map.
This guy really is like Donk.
Which is kind of staggering.
Well, got to get with the times now, doesn't he? MOUZ on their pick. Falcons a map in their pocket, but as you say, those harrowing memories ever present. Kiyosuke in the pit, come his way, hits his first with ease, and Tessus has his back covered. New player will fall. Tessus falls back, the site taken by MOUZ.
They find their way to a bomb plant here, and they send Brolin off. Take some space away out on long. Tessus coming in on this flank in through the apartments. Gonna struggle to get too much reward out of this with the positions held by MOUZ. m0NESY converts, and now it's just Torshi left down in the pit.
Oh my!
Been dinked up, and the knife is pulled. m0NESY settling the score, and a knife kill in the pistol to open up Inferno.
That's one way to do it. Just jump in 4v1, forget the past. We're not losing that round, say Falcons. Statement made. And lesson learned for MOUZ in the pistol round. Force Spike comes out. Very excited to see this B hold as well on the CT side for Falcons. Has anything changed? Same positions for Kixon and Nico. We were saying for the longest time this was the most aggressive banana pairing in the game all year. Nico always willing to hustle. Dixon holds flash and Nico awaits contact. MOUZ, after trying to avoid nades, will shift their way up, but reblocked again. More time wasted. Dixon's out of flashbangs.
Swing ahead of the util there. Just trying to get stuck in, but ends up coming out of that looking worse for wear, and then they get blocked at top banana. I'm going to be watching Kiyosuke very intently. Very rare to have a player so green on a map.
It seems like we've had some shuffles, him playing rotation. It was Tesses, who's now taking up back in the pit. MOUZ will speed up on a 20 seconds, only 2 here.
Molly's rain in. Tesses and Monacy not able to stop this initial swarm, and that's a big problem. Kills flood through. And even as Kixan and Kiyosuke leave some chance to the pushes. Kixan knowing about out here on short. Nico blocked behind this smoke that starts to fade now. Got to find that first incision because this crossfire is hard to deal with. Torshi and Spink split between site and pit. Nothing being offered here. Falcons are going to have to go searching.
Piece it together.
They draw out the pit fight, but Kixan had to nail that. The task feels now an impossible here for Nico. It's forced by success out of MOUZ. An immediate challenge to the Falcons on Inferno.
Yeah, MOUZ get exactly what they want. They go really late B, they threaten Falcons, they burn out 2 of their smokes in banana, all of the util gone, and Falcons feel like they have to call for a rotation, that an execute is inevitable in a round like this, and MOUZ just make that hasty rotation back into a weakened bomb site. Even though Falcons trade out well, we know even 2v2s can be hard to retake. The MOUZ's force converts here and now against just Eagles and 5-7s.
And I'm just going to reiterate the crazy numbers one more time. It's 1 pro game for Kiyosuke on this map. 7 pugs in Face It CS2 and 30 from CSGO. This is his 39th game on this map.
Versus thousands of pugs.
Yeah, to contrast, that's over 1,300 Mirages in pugs. So far from a comfort map for Kiyosuke. Aggression in. Kixan and Kiyosuke repel that initial push, but he's got to do even more. The Eagle dancing around this pillar, but it's struggling to deliver yet. That one's clean. Torshi runs him down. He's kept this open for a retake. Monacy and Tesses group on the banana. This is while Jimmy and Torshi are trying to get comfortable, trying to get set up. They will hit this little window to sneak forth, arming themselves now for the retake. Horrible memories for the Falcons at this side of the map. Tesses dead on the cross. And Monacy feels like he's got no room, no time to play. So MOUZ will win out this conversion. Walking into the B stack, they live to tell the tale.
And that's both rounds, just seeing solid trading, to be fair, on the defensive side. But as soon as that bomb goes down, the odds astronomically increasing, and even more so against pistols with no kits. Jimmy just playing heroic right now, jumping through that smoke after finding the double entry. Someone's got to do it. And, well, boy, it ain't going to be Spinks. Takes one for the team. MOUZ now have a round with ease. Burning up. Full banana taken. MOUZ can just walk on in. And that's the thing about MOUZ, they often just walk it in.
They're not going to overcook this, not going to overcomplicate it. They never had anyone searching out towards the other side of the map anyway, so there's no slowdown to make here. We'll be clean on these early rounds for MOUZ ever since the win in that force buy. So a nice commanding start to Inferno. This first gun round, curious what Falcons are going to do about this B side of the map.
Yeah.
They've always been a squad, even as the meta's kind of shifted away from it, that have been keen for fighting for this deep banana control. Kixan and Nico still on that side of the map. Wonder if that's going to be the go-to.
We saw the danger of it, of using all your util in that position, even in that force buy win for MOUZ, because Falcons used both their smokes, they used their molly, they used their HE, and then they had nothing. And MOUZ were all there. Falcons knew it, so they panic rotated. MOUZ used it against them perfectly. I wouldn't even say panic, I guess. It's kind of well-founded to put a third player there, but and MOUZ make a very late move back to A. So Falcons want to risk using all their util, just control the car. How are they going to fare against a full execute from MOUZ? Here's that first full bite. No kits, already limitations, but Exertion comes up banana with something to prove. Nico on his own, 4-1. Just fine for now. Falcons look like they have a read. Not only are they playing 4A, they are playing committed. MOUZ won't figure this out until they get out of the apartments. At that point, it might even be too late. Bomb on Torchy at the back of middle gives the option late round, but how many kills will MOUZ find?
Oh, that's a clean opening. And that might be a red carpet invitation. Into the stack they go. This crossfire's got to save it for the Falcons.
Oh.
And it gets brushed aside. Nico left as the last man. Exertion was toying with the idea of getting aggressive, decides against it. He knows unless he gives Nico a kill, this is a retake that won't even be attempted.
There's simply no kit in the round.
So doesn't have the time, doesn't have the space. Blocked at Moto, that seals the deal.
I gotta say, in the 4 rounds MOUZ have won, it just shows how brutally punishing holding a site is on this map. Because even though Falcons continue to trade out pretty efficiently, MOUZ are just winning every single time. Sure, double entry does come through in that round for MOUZ. They find 2 clean opening kills, but then a multi-back from Monacy, 1 more from Kixan. And still MOUZ run it through. The scoreline is good for MOUZ, but the rounds are tight. They need to stay on it. Feathers and bones. Falcons got any meat on this CT side?
This is fast approaching a real rough opening, right? Like you lose that first rifle round, you're instantly on the back foot, and in a big way. This MOUZ T side could just swell out of control here and now. You had to play perfect from the get-go, and within an essence, you know, Falcons had everything they wanted in that last round. It was MOUZ playing into the full stack, and not even that was enough. So MOUZ with a lot to look forward to on this T side. Going to have a real air of comfortability about them on this map. Clean stuff from Spinks, who keeps it up. It was him who got that opener into the stack in the round prior. Another 5v4 provided at the hands of Spinks, and what if he does it again? Nico flashed in for a mid-fight, but no one's dodging this guy right now. Spinks has nailed every single fight that's been offered. Well, that one, a little ugly for Tesses, but perfect for Spinks, who's on it for the ace.
Go get it, man. Hunt, fine kicks in that B-bomb site. It wouldn't be the most Spinks play, but I think he's earned it. A near ace on Ancient. And this one is teed up right there against a pistol. Clinical shots for Spinks. Spinks sneaks in. Closer and closer. MOUZ allow him that. Here he comes for the ace. Spinks chasing the last, throwing sand in the face of Falcons, but Kixon denies it.
Still, and the big takeaway from the round is, yay, we didn't get aced. It's not exactly the vote of confidence you're hoping for. I mean, every other shot in this round was perfect for Spinks. He never used more than 2 bullets, it felt like. These are all so crisp and clean, and then this whiff as well. Ugh.
Forget about it, say Falcons. Full buy comes out. Monassy's orb has to hit. And again, we talk about Falcons giving Kyosuke powerful positions he's comfortable in, positions that let him extract a lot of value. Nico taking a back step in many maps while keeping it here. Kyosuke being on that rotation point means he is going to be very active. He is going to be very integral. He can play into both sides.
But I mean, it's also a lot of agency. Someone who, as we've talked about to no end, doesn't have a tremendous amount of reps on this map. In fact, a shockingly low amount of reps on Inferno. And you need to keep your head strapped on here.
Not a lot to think about. He leaves all his nades in spawn. Nico goes back to pick them up. He just holds his long side. Falcons dictate when and where he rotates. Monassy's orb looks to find an incision in middle.
Monassy opens a 5v4 for the Falcons. Yasuke tries to sweeten the deal. Down to 3 here for MOUZ, but still in a powerful position.
So's Tesses.
Monassy full blind, had to hit that. That's quick off the scope, quick off the draw, and with cover from Tesses, Falcons finally wrestling one back.
Finally trading to their advantage. I think that's the most important factor, right? Falcons 4-3 up after that fight in middle. Just Kyosuke traded. And an annoying smoke up in front of the site that forces MOUZ through gray screen into that orb. MOUZ just go back to B here. That's what Falcons seem to think. 3 strong at the start. Grenades go down, they land strong. Roland needs to clear this position. Flash, Kixon activates. Grenades can come in, but it goes both ways. He eats them as they do as well. Good kill for Zershan, and he hears one more fire off. Flash dodge, doesn't matter. Kyosuke holds strong. Still got a molly to stall this one out. MOUZ would love to win the round right there and there, and they still can, but they need to get through this young player. 2 kills, and he concedes. Cost MOUZ everything. 1v1 for the round now. Torshi lands it, but going alone, even he is fearful.
Jimmy's really taken a long time to link back up with him, waiting for mid-aggression out of the Falcons.
Now surely can't think someone's crossed into the site, right? This plant is allowed.
Ooh, is she going to commit to that? Tessa's electing not to blow this smoke open. So just a bit of chip damage on Torshi. Honestly does have a nade as well. It looks like they'll just wait for these smokes to fade. Re-smoked at CT, that's a big problem. That's where this nade will come in handy. Smoke at top banana to cut down some of the angles. For now, they've got Torshi out behind this pillar all alone, but the smoke breaks late and Torshi is right on time. Does it all solo in at the back of the site with his AWP. Comfortable position for him. The nade gives the info, gives him that last little tidbit. And where m0NESY misses, Torshi succeeds.
And Kiesu gets a great round in terms of kill count, but he gets a little hungry, doesn't he? Goes back for one more. Doesn't want to sit in the silence. It's what gives Torshi the pick. It's what lets MOUZ into that site in the 2v2.
And I think, you know, we might see a few more examples of this, right, where the mechanics are great and are going to hold up regardless of the map, but there was even that round where he kind of gets caught out towards Moto, like way wider on the angle, where he is open to apartments. That was where Spinks found him. Yeah. That was even though he had two teammates holding down the apartment's position. And so, you know, for a guy who has a staggering amount of hours in the game, usually a great comfortability on these maps, maybe not the same on Inferno.
But it's never going to come down to just one man, right? We still have to see this B hold strong for Falcons, and again, multiple attempts at it, none of them really connecting. Nico and Kingston just removed there at the top of Banana with not much to talk about. Nico 1 and 5 after an excellent Ancient. Honestly making moves to force a 5v4. He's got his teammate by his side. Tessa's back to back in the apps. Jimmy on the shot, but m0NESY gets out after one. Flick won't connect, but Tessa certainly does, and that's pushed everyone back. Xerxes feeling like he has to go into Nico. And one more for the Kovac as he finds Brolin as well. That's more like it. When things go good, they go great. 5-on-1 in seconds.
I mean, that could be, you know, the nature of these more aggressive CT sides from the Falcons. Risking it all in some early fights. You're going to have some really dominant rounds in there. You're going to have some dominant rounds against you. This one's the former, very clean. Good stuff from Nico over towards that B site, laying some of those worries to rest as he stopped the two-man push. And the apartment set up, well, it did stop that round before it even started, really.
Similar to Ancient, in a position now for Falcons to recover and level out this first half. MOUZ's money teetering in the balance. An AWP and a Tech-9 in the same buy. Let's take a different route in apps. Spinks boosted up, Brolin in Banana. Deep util this time for Falcons as they look to take a lot of space. Great grenades. Fine Brolin. Nothing to say. Smoke on long, m0NESY. Good break it. There's two CTs here. Gonna try and set up his teammate to fight through. Sees nothing. MOUZ play later timing after hearing that nade. They know they have a bit of room. Bomb is still back in spawn, hoping for an over-aggressive mistake, but Falcons sit in their bomb site, smokes at the ready. Only one block left in the round here, so Falcons don't want to waste it. And this could be huge as MOUZ go back to Banana. Smoke does come down, preemptive. But as that happens, so does the rotation. Kiyosuke here in time.
I mean, they know here as well, Jimmy's still sitting on a nade. There's even the option to blow this open if you wanted to go on a forward timing. Util's getting lined up now into the stack again for this MOUZ team.
Top.
Util out, Kixan catching one. And now MOUZ try and send it. Nico dropping down. He's got Kiyosuke ready to run through and lend a helping hand. And between them, they try and shut down this B play. Nico dancing around. And keeps that one in check for the Falcons. The B site starting to offer a little bit more in this game.
1 and 5 for Nico, I said. He's now found 5 kills in a row. That double hold at the B site on his own. Now another multi-kill here. His teammate doing their part, running through the smoke to set him up. And Nico, 6-5 now. Return to form on this CT side. As Falcons are indeed recovering this half. It's going to be one last bite for MOUZ in the next. This a quasi timeout.
It feels very important, you know, Falcons do want to try and stake their claim to Inferno, that they find a successful CT campaign. That's where MOUZ are going to look to do their best work in a couple of rounds' time.
No comment.
Banana's on the brain for Jimmy, and that's where this round might end up. After a little timeout, just to talk it all through. Gonna go back to Banana, back to Nico. They're gonna build his confidence even more. He's got the spot. They're starting to run at him now. So I want to go down here. They're not going to disrespect that util. Nico on for a bit of a sequence, it would seem, as just the pistols run right into him, and Nico collects. Unfazed by the five-man push, and a big smile from Zonic. Not the best ace of his career, but it's nice.
Ten kills in a row with no deaths for Nico.
I mean, you do love to hear that if you're the Falcons.
It's all been leading to this final round, right? This recovery of the first half. A very strong start for MOUZ, a 5-1 lead, winning their force buy after losing to Pistol. If MOUZ could get that sweet taste of victory again just now at the end of the half, that would be a lovely T-side campaign from them. All things considered.
You just don't want to feel like you let Falcons back in any way, shape or form, right?
Yeah, again.
And from 5 in a row for MOUZ, a bit of a struggle down the tail end of this half. So we already saw them take that time to discuss this rifle round. That opener from Brolin, it could go a long way.
Is that a block?
It looked like it.
I think the other two were. I don't know if Kiyosuke was caught in that tether. He was just out wide fighting. Smoke break comes in. MOUZ take a 5v4. And Kiyosuke, all in all, for the talk of his inexperience on Inferno, has held strong. 9-9. MOUZ can't afford to waste this opportunity. Falcons get inquisitive, back in Banana.
Being a man down, right, they kind of need to here. They don't have the resources to sit back. They have to try and figure out where this play's coming in, and that aggression gets Nico punished.
Closer and closer.
Honestly, he's going to have to hit a flick here. Tessa's dead out on A in the downtime, but the bomb is right here on Banana. Yeah, Falcons can still remain competitive for this round if they're able to find that bomb. Instead, it's a mowdown. Torshi with the lineup, and MOUZ go on to win out this half.
If I take a good touch, could last forever. Every moment I'm with you feels like
MOUZ causing mischief on their map pick in this quarterfinal. Falcons took Ancient. MOUZ respond with a strong T side, a little streak in there for Falcons, but not enough to get you smiling. MOUZ seeming pretty content. Pistol rounds have been hard to convert in this series. Of much importance to the Falcons on a map they've not played since that Austin Major. We all remember, do they?
And they most assuredly do. It was the continuation of a long line of missteps at Majors for Nico. Curse post-plant that ended up sealing their fate. Around in this pistol on a long wrap, right in to Jimmy. There's the support out of the Torshi dual Berettas, and it all grinds to an awkward halt. You've lost your three big hitters. It's just Tesses and Kixan are left standing. Let's see if Tesses can make this interesting.
So low though, tucked in this fight. Spinks just needs a body shot and it's over. Kixan beat Torshi for the bomb. Under control in the bomb site. Kixan just whittling. Oh, but he hits the headshot. He's got time. Move in. Grab that package and put it down. Full stick, Spinks. Element of surprise, shifting in. Kixan goes for a jiggle, but he's wide already. Tucked in, nowhere to go, but fight forward. Spinks more health. Kixan with the headshot. And Falcons win out that pistol somehow.
That's a huge round for Kixan and a great return. And one of the things that made this guy so exciting when he first joined Falcons, we always said, a captain who can frag and doesn't play like one necessarily. He steps up in a big way for that clutch round here.
T-side's where it does his best work. So what a time to show it. Not even necessarily in those clutches. But now trying to drag Falcons back in. I said those force buys have been prevalent in this series. MOUZ look to continue that fact. They won the first of this map.
Looking for a B-side brawl, and with Exertion gifting an opener, not going to get a better invitation than that.
Oh, smoke's too deep.
I'll play ahead of it, keep this real estate. Brolin, that's a crazy shot. And Falcons kind of dripping in here towards B.
Thinks his secret.
Brolin's even made it ahead of the molly. It will get cleared out, but it's things they're not ready for. Kiyasuke found Torshi tagging on the scout, and one more left to finish for Torshi. There's this big backstab for Tesses that's been building for the longest time, but he's had to pick up the pace with how desperate the hour's gotten, and Torshi continues to find success. Tesses now arriving late to the site, late to this plant, but finds his way in a 1v2 to get that bomb down. Jimmy and Torshi closing the gap, and Tesses doesn't know where to look. Gets a bit strung out there for the Falcons on that B hit. And Torshi able to get multiple shots off on his scout, harass and just be a nuisance before that bomb's even planted.
Yeah, I like how the penny drops. Maybe it's called by Jimmy on the rotate that there's a late player in Tesses, and Torshi's able to just force that kill with the USP after a lot of damage done. That's both pistols for Falcons. That's both force buys for MOUZ. Those are the rounds you remember.
Nice!
In a very close game. Falcons have no choice. They've got to buy back, but MOUZ with huge opportunity here on their map pick to make this a three-mapper. Nuke is our decider. Bound to be a banger.
Sort of Falcons-esque banana take here from MOUZ. Playing it deep all the way down. A up against this force buy.
It's risky in a round like this to do it, because you know one of the best plays is Tech Nice just popping through this smoke. High flash over. Zertian plays very close to it. Can just spray and pray, but doesn't want to overcommit here. Has a smoke, goes back to the bomb site, frees up a rotation. The wiser option of 2. Sees that move for Falcons and just blocks. Roland's got to keep it running. There's 2 B players for MOUZ on the scoreboard. Bottom of the server. Exploitable, perhaps. As Falcons have a wealth of nades.
You just don't really have a means to block this, right? The incendiary on Brolin's nice, but it's only going to buy you a couple of seconds here at most. It's allowed Spinks to close in at least and be that third man to offer assistance. He needs something for exertion. Him and Brolin fall with nothing done. And it's success across the field for Falcons.
And that's not even Falcons' utility really landing. No one gets burned out of position. No one gets flashed on that play. It's just whiffed shots for MOUZ. Good grenade. Falcons don't have to worry about this post plant.
I mean, yeah, if one team is going to really, you know, lock in a moment like this one, it is Falcons. They never want to repeat mistakes of old. That's a bit of a failure there, right? You touched on Zertian and Brolin, both kind of a little quiet in this series thus far. And I think, you know, you can say that they might reactivate here in this second half, but they're going to have to, because you don't want this to be exploitable. You don't want this to be a consistent issue. This B site has to hold up. Pixand, you know, not afraid to keep it kind of simple and stripped back. I mean, you can think about Ancient as a keen example of that, finding success in those quick B hits. Not a guy who's going to look to overcook too much. If the B site is weak, he will exploit it.
Yeah. That's an awkward hunt as well. I mean, Falcons lose all their guns, and sure, it's a force buy win. They still get out with some money, but you know, you're right for MOUZ coming right back into this game. Can't celebrate yet. MOUZ with a timeout, in fact, but Falcons, I mean, we've got 3,800 on almost every player here, so it's either AK Kevlar or Galil and nades. Many opting for the utility. Just Monacy unburdened by it. Porsche 18 and 6, monster game from him.
Still holding on to this lead, just about a MOUZ. But this is the round that really decides the late game here on Inferno. You touched upon our Falcons on the back of that hunt. They themselves are looking worse for wear in terms of the money. Both teams teetering on the edge of being broke.
Can't really celebrate your force buy win when it comes that costly.
Pyrrhic victory for Falcons. Oof. And one that they might regret. Spinks, 2 kills on the push through that mid-smoke. Even though you get the space, you've paid a heavy price here. Tessez unable to reclaim anything on the walkout through short, and that leaves just Nico and Monacy staring down the barrel of a 2v5. At this point in time, you are really regretting that hunt.
Nothing given away here. Ooh, as I say that, Torshi.
Well, she tried to give something away.
But even then, you got to go hunting, you got to go digging. One pick back up. B site allowed. 25 seconds makes it feel like it's a save here for Falcons with no opportunity opened up.
Even that
closes on the round.
Even that could draw out these money problems, right? Now you're kind of off kilter in terms of the money.
Yeah.
You might just have to go back to a force here, but even that's something you're a little reluctant to do with a 5 alive round for MOUZ. You didn't even make a dent here. And so not only have you failed to capitalize on that costly hunt, it's come back to really haunt you.
These are, bitter pills to swallow, because sure, you're happy you have a chance to actually get damage and fight in that next round. But MOUZ have no loss bonus. It's a rather unique situation to be in. 1,400 on the 3 other players and 2 AKs with $0. It's just back-to-back 4 spies down for Falcons. And by the time you get a real buy on your T side, MOUZ are deep into double digits.
Yeah, they'll be on the verge of victory. And it's going to require a damn near flawless game from the Falcons. That's unless they can upset it all by winning here.
Hey, it's something they did on the CT side of Ancient late in the game. They got 7 out of the last 8 rounds to close out that map after a pretty even game. But it's hard to imagine the same here on the T side of Inferno. MOUZ coming through confident, blitzing in Banana. Nades land perfectly, rifle removed. m0NESY gets something from it. Zertian doesn't need to overplay his hand, he chooses not to. A risky jiggle unpunished, and a resmoke available in this 2-man hold. They go back into the bomb site, they force Falcons to commit, who do not. Porsche on long side has been so reliable. Still taking fights on a timing.
I think on this T side, usually a strength of this Falcon squad in the past, whenever we saw them play Inferno, that's where Kiyosuke's lack of reps really might feel punishing. It can, you sometimes see some of the most experienced players in the world struggle to get going here when they're getting bullied on the T sides. He's had 2 kills thus far in this second half. So keeping track of that on our way to the close. It's a walkout in towards B here. A very, very passive play for MOUZ, giving away all this room, waiting for info. They hear that smoke down at CT. They hear a player scaling. Eventually they're going to have to take this fight, and Exertion will. Brolin spotted the next, and quick work made over this 3-man play in towards B. m0NESY just doesn't have the time to win this round. Spam will connect. m0NESY dead, and MOUZ onto double digits. And now that money comes crashing down for the Falcons.
2K a player. I mean, this is what I said. MOUZ are going to be in the hot seats with kind of no excuse to close out Inferno once the guns finally come through for Falcons. It's not a map that you're getting bomb plants easily either. So there's very little Falcons can do or say about this position. It's one they've put themselves in. It's one they'll pay the price for. MOUZ, despite a couple of quiet and perhaps exploitable players, both in the B bomb site in this map, none of that going to be taken by Falcons. For MOUZ, it's just do your job, mob and buckets, keep it clean.
Yeah, it does feel like you've hit that point where it's MOUZ's game to lose. They have every reason to take this. Full control. And they're going to remain, on the dominant side of the economy for time to come. Another chance at a squeaky clean round here, and that would go a long way just to give you staying power in the tail end of Inferno. Freebie for Brolin. And Spinks ready to collect. He's got a bunch of Glocks right around the corner. Only going to manage one. Can't quite finish his meal. It's a gun picked up for Tessez. Only 25 seconds here. You can't go slow anymore, Falcons. You've got to get a move on.
m0NESY D could go a long way, but look at them backing out. They want to give nothing away in this round. That's a scary spray, but you can't go B now. Surely 15 seconds. Brolin pulling back. Has he realized they're going to give it a go? This is down to a buzzer beater. 10 seconds as they try and cross in. They have no idea where he's coming from. Bomb is stuck in the last possible second, but Brolin can run him down and win the round. No free plants today. That's a little scary for MOUZ, a little hectic down the stretch. But Captain Brolin puts it to rest, and MOUZ, one buy round separates them from Nuke.
This guy, Nico, feeling the pressure here, knows he might have to be the fire starter for Falcons. This is, as you say, the last buy round they're going to have. So maybe we see Nico look for something up through Banana. Certainly looks like it, as he's already scaled deep behind the util. His teammates in the downtime have been involved in a clash for this mid control. Two of them low. Kixan and m0NESY both wounded, and now Tessez out of the picture as well. This is the worst possible start for the Falcons. It's in this moment that Nico and Kyosuke have to be difference makers.
No.
Or else Inferno belongs to MOUZ.
Util so punishing. The health is so low. And MOUZ have a third man in store.
Ooh. It's a nice opening. But it's got to be so much more than that. m0NESY and Kixan both are shot away from certain death.
Ooh.
I think with the money where it's at, Falcons are in this weird spot where they kind of don't want to get too committed. You could justify a save.
This is kind of a random gamble, no? MOUZ giving it up entirely. Trusting their read, yes, but what if it's wrong? What if they're biting down hook, line, and sinker? Free clear in middle is something, but Spinks is blinded by the flash. He doesn't even know there's no one inbound. Dixon comes back to try to sell this fake inside the smoke.
Oh my God.
Doesn't know. He reads it, shooting him through. Now they're in B. Exertion is very low. If he fights on his own and dies, that opens up a chance for Falcons. Ugh.
Oh no, from bad to worst. Miss Util. m0NESY makes up for it to an extent. Push from Kyosuke nets them the kill. That's going to allow a plant here, and Nico providing cover. This is a round you could have looked to save in, but Nico and Kyosuke have ground away back in.
Big flank.
This was all the marbles for the Falcons. The job is not done yet. They've got to stop Spinks and Jimmy from ever beginning on this retake.
Go for it now.
And they were going to save. Oh no.
Not again.
Not another cooked post plant. Nico and m0NESY do not want to repeat those mistakes of old.
That's a really jump at the gun for MOUZ. I mean, you've got to be trusting in your A players. No, they've held so strong in this game. Your bottom performers rotating out of the B bomb site, giving it over entirely, and even Exertion getting caught, full flashed. Can't pick a position, stuck at Coffin, gives them the entry after giving them the site. MOUZ don't really make a decision. They don't even play retake. They wanted to save. That feels like a really awkward way to allow Falcons back in this game. It might not matter if MOUZ follow up straight away, but just very un-MOUZ-like.
Nico, hyper-aggressive start. This time far quicker up through Banana. And even though he gets super wounded in the process, getting out with a 5v4 aggression for Brolin. Nets a freebie.
He's been coming back at least.
Cover just wasn't there from the Falcons.
Not again.
They're going to leave B once more.
Doing this like they have rounds to play with. Brolin goes back. Maybe he got nades and spawn. Re-aggression in middle. Tessa's timing, but covered by the orb. Pro B, contact in. Kixan, no one there to trade, and block is ready for Brolin. Tessa's gone as well. Falcons hung out to dry. 2v4 through the smoke yet once more, and Brolin stops it. 3 kills from the captain again on this B-bomb site. And Nico, 2 health, no chance. This one's done. MOUZ onto 12. 4 kills from Brolin. And some scary moves, some scary rotations from MOUZ. But 4 shots to close their pick. All in all, Exertion's had a horrendous series. If MOUZ make this one nuke, they need him to recover here. Difference is clear on this map. MOUZ's experience reigning true. They will need their star rifler, their entry power, especially on such a technical map.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's just so much less of a gimme than Inferno was ever going to be.
It's what Exertion even said after beating VP. It was just a weird game. That he couldn't really find it. Jimmy stepped up massively. It took MOUZ 3 maps there as well.
I mean, this is what Falcons are left with in what could be the final round of Inferno. Missed shot there for Torshi.
The balcony.
Forgets about the railing, and it nearly cost him his life.
Phew. To MOUZ for MOUZ. Falcons right around that corner. Bomb does go back. It has been kind of a one trick on this T side. Constant B hits. Nico alone. Exertion still making his same plays, just hasn't had the shots to back it up.
Ooh. You've at least put the fear in Nico, bringing him down low. Follow-up damage out of Sphinx as he leaves it to the final bullet, and him and Jimmy bite down on this mid-fight. Nico already knows it's over, low on health and finished off as MOUZ come hunting. They get their revenge. Inferno is a brutal sight. Beating up on the Falcons here. It was always meant to feel uncomfortable for the Falcons with questions around Kyosuke. But the memories of the major on this map, and they will not get their redemption here this series. That's the battleground here to decide who goes into these semi-finals. Aurora waiting in the wings, but only room for one of either MOUZ or Falcons. The two pretty dominant maps back to back, dominated by these strong second halves. Falcons pick up the win in that knife round, so they get the blanket of a CT start here up against MOUZ in map 3. We haven't really had that superstar to leap out at us yet on either side. Jimmy started strong in the series. Map 2. A lot of the attention on Torshi. It's been more about players missing here. Exertion struggling in this series. He's going to be a requirement here on Nuke. Nico dead immediately out in the yard. Kyosuke left to hold down ramp, all on his lonesome, but he's making it happen. Nails 3. And so Torshi's one kill that briefly tips the scales in MOUZ's favor is long since forgotten about. Trip down the vent. Tessa's back turned. Hang on a second. He's not checked the right way. He might miss this twice over. Giving chase now. He doesn't know it, but he's hot on the heels of Tessez. There's the spot for Torshi. Collects his free kill, but still has so much more to do. Got to stop her. Kyosuke with hot hands in this pistol.
It's not Inferno anymore. Kyosuke warmed up with 3 shots on the ramp. Saw that back at Cologne. Had a highlight in this very position. 30 seconds for Torshi to figure this one out. Kicks and pushed in the radio room, and Kyosuke just eviscerates.
Never even see him.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Pops his heads up, puts MOUZ's down. 4 kills in the pistol round. Whoever wins this quarterfinal goes against Aurora in the semis. They will certainly be favorites. Even if Aurora are playing a great tournament right now. This one is split right down the middle. Map MOUZ are proven on. One, Falcons have only played a single time with this roster. Highs and lows for MOUZ. We really are looking to that entry power of Exertion tonight, as you mentioned. I mean, just absent from this whole series, him and Tessez, bottom of their respective teams.
I mean, you talk about the kind of up and downs for MOUZ. Their most recent and the biggest L they've taken on this map was 2OG. Now, that is online. That was back at Bounty. But that was a pretty decisive win for OG. MOUZ just got outclassed in terms of the calls.
Yeah, it was a CT side they just couldn't figure out. OG ran rings around him. With a nice series of smoke walls. It's Prison often has. It's all for later. Let's see MOUZ lead on this T side. Full buy coming through. Falcons. Everything they need.
It's in this half that we are going to be looking at Exertion. He's got a big degree of responsibility as to the success of this T side for MOUZ. As we've talked about, as you just mentioned, he's been quiet all series long.
Yeah, you know, rifling on the outside is no easy feat. So much so was a discussion on the desk between whether Kyosuke or Nico will be leading that position. More of a tag team right now, we'll have to see. Hickson holding strong in his position. The ammo runs dry, that's the only thing that puts him down. 3 kills on this top site. This main smoke, Nico comes through, and Kyosuke is there to finish. Falcons, first gun round in the pocket. Things are flowing.
Considering you kind of get blindsided by the pace there, right? Your player's back turned on the push out. Kixan does a fantastic job of buying time for Nico and Code to join the fray. That's a huge step in the right direction. And the fact that MOUZ go for that in their first rifle round, right? They try to set this precedent early of, you need to watch out for the top site hits. We can throw them in at any moment. Well, that kind of hits a lot less when you get wrecked attempting it in your first rifle round.
Even just the little detail of a main smoke that falls too short as well. Probably throwing it through a door smoke, don't have that perfect lineup. And Nico abuses it. So MOUZ can't even play out the 2v2.
Talk about how it's Exertion out towards the yard space here for MOUZ. It's an option they are going to have to start exploring with that fast A hit not panning out.
Yeah, smokes are just the default staging on this map.
There's a laundry list of players that are down to play the yard for the Falcons. Monesi throws his name into the equation now on this AWP, and there's Exertion plucked out first. It's a tag hit either way. The two AWPers clashing outside. Brolin threads the needle on this main timing, but now he's boxed in here. Torshis Deeg has delivered one more. Trying to make this round interesting is Brolin. With a second kill to his name now, it's the rotate in from Tesses that catches him by surprise.
MOUZ have to start now. Well, they will be swept under in this T half. Full buy coming through, AWP for Torshi as well. Kyosuke proving very mobile in these couple of rounds. Quick to assist on A and outside. Exertion alone. Roland assists with the utility, but even that nade makes things difficult. Couldn't have been better timed by Nico. A site heavily guarded. Nixon comes up from under. Late wall hits the yard as MOUZ scale forward with 2 players, but is it just a main split? Got this util on the top side, teed up by Torshi. How's his AWP even going to play into this? Exertion making the cross, tag down very low.
Oh, bro, he can't catch a break.
Oh,
just barely gets by.
He's not exactly going to be able to open up much from this position. There's a util on the top, pull Nico back.
Exertion there to throw the flash for Brolin, but nothing being offered here on this space in main. Can't spot Kyosuke up on the rafters. And with Nico and Tesses making quick work over the hit, Kyosuke now getting involved a little bit later, and suddenly it's just a low HP Exertion. He's been bullied from the get-go of this round.
It's a very strange round to call when you have the AWP. Like, why, you're buying the AWP into that round on a topside execute. That was the call from the get-go. MOUZ to get Exertion on the cross to feign some outside presence so he can flash his teammate into main, go on a top split. Sure, if everything goes right, that AWP is a potent post-part piece. It can lock down heaven, it can lock down main. but MOUZ don't make a dent on that top side. Kyosuke just with strong positioning in this game right now. Not even really been on the ramp since the pistol. m0NESY takes it there. He's up in the rafter. Falcons are everywhere right now, all over the shop.
And dude, I don't know if you're kind of feeling it for MOUZ, but because, you know, we've had this strugglesome series, and so outside feels like this near impossible task. It's forcing some like weird adjustments. They're bogged down in
Nice call. Nice. Good job.
dealing with that.
And I'm sure that nice call comes from the fact that they read the A play. They put the stack on the top side, and they don't overfight outside.
I don't hate the idea of MOUZ just playing some faster grouped rounds. It's Brolin faking the yard util. The rest wait back in lobby. And they will look to play to their strengths here, and those strengths are going as a pack, roaming together. You don't want to spend so much time trying to prop up your weakest link that you yourself become a part of the problem here. And so playing together.
And well, yeah, sure, well, that's true, but at the same time, if your weakest link is in the most important role on this T side, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any space. You're not going to get those entries down lower that shift the rotates, that open up even a chance to make this A site hit viable. Spotted on the cross, AK makes it down. Kyosuke runs around, but m0NESY's got hell control. You can't come through this smoke, Yimpat. Nico and kicks him inside the vent. It's an ugly spray, and they might have seen Nico here as well. Coming in for the clear, Nico lines them up, and they all get knocked down. 6-0 from Falcons. Xerxia may have support, but no one can make any headway in that B-bomb side.
CT side thus far from Falcons has been impressive, right? They feel like they've been put to the test just yet in this game. It's remaining very fluid. They're reacting to the info well. It's making it hard because you feel like there's never a gap here if you're MOUZ. There's never something to exploit.
Something has to go right before you can make Falcons doubt themselves. Otherwise, they're just going to believe in their rotates, believe in their calls, stay active, stay mobile.
I mean, at every stage in that round, the gaps that did appear were closed so promptly, right? Even the Kyosuke ramp drop as the player's hiding in the smoke. Well, that's right as m0NESY moves into the line, and it's almost a bit of a bait and switch to try and bring them in to that AWP on the ramp.
CT side nuke is probably the best place to be in flow state, right? Just moving those little pieces around the map. It's not even kicks and calling this like with the puppet strings. It's every player knowing their role, knowing their rotation, knowing how to react to certain info. Could be outside. Or down secret.
And we said it hours ago coming into this for MOUZ. Well, it's been a year absent of trophies. The one thing they've had is, at worst, semi-final placings. This would be their worst finish since the start of the year. Thinking back to Katowice and Bounty. But other than that, 9 playoffs in a row, always semi-finals or better.
Unreal consistency, only matched by Vitality. Exceeded even.
Good catch for Kixan. Missed main.
Oh my god, it's a mess. At least Xerxia just run and gun takes that kill. Inside of the Molotov, Kyosuke is just farming right now. Aimbots in the yard, 10-1. The read is there, the shot is not. Nico gets it over the line. Falcons, flawless game still.
MOUZ just don't have answers. They don't have the usual tools. They don't have the usual pieces here. You're working with such limitations, and I mean, now even things as simple as these smokes are going wrong.
I wonder if that's on purpose, right? They still drop in looking at main, but is that just a reaction, or is that a miss? Regardless, it does MOUZ no favors. Seeing frustration even come through. Jimmy started this series rock solid. That first map was great. He was the front runner, able to keep it going on the T side as well. Saw that hand go through the vent. Jimmy does get his kill down in the lower side, but Nico follows him. What an audacious play.
Nico stood on Jimmy's head, finishes him off. Now they try and spill over into this top site. That's a big pickup for Spinks and Torshi, and they know the others have dropped down lower. Nico survived one chance crossing in the vents. Is he really going to try and do it twice?
He's got to.
The 7-0 feel nearly invincible. But do you just write this round off on position and position alone?
It's a shame to see. Does Nico survive here?
I think he does. They might have to get a bit of a move on.
There's nowhere to go now. Maybe back garage, but that's his best bet at this point. They drop down the vent. Nico holding on for exits. He's gonna lose that orb. Honestly, AK might be valuable in and of itself. And MOUZ do find their first round. About time. I'll save the AK, surely. There's so much money on this Falcon CT side, so he will.
I mean, look there, right? MOUZ pick up a round, and it's kind of the mistake of Falcons. Their keenness to rotate, the pace of these rotates, and the tunnel vision on these players in at lower end up leaving them out of position. And with a series of awkward missed timings going the way of this MOUZ team, they've gotten on the board.
It's not too late.
This is where they can look to recover, but that's got to be the start of something. You get in on the overzealousness and the overconfidence of your opponent. Now let's see if they can do it on their own merit. It's a cross out in the yard. 4 players here with just Jimmy waiting back in the lobby.
I wonder if that's, oh no, what a read, just denied at the door. Exertion comes through the smoke and m0NESY pre-scoped on his position. Jimpat and Hut, did he hear the scope up close? m0NESY might just strut in, 2 players. Leg gives it away, m0NESY missed shot, Jimmy jumps on it, double kill. We were waiting for him here in this third map after a great series. Jimpat put down by the ramp flank, Kickson's position unknown. MOUZ cross, shift down. Kiyasuke keen to find out, to warn his captain. Kickson, patient, waiting.
He's not playing the jump spot. Not looking for the info. Kicksan instead rests his hopes on an off angle down here towards lower where he's flying blind.
Shadow for him.
Has that shadow to work with, and well, we'll catch Torshi with the bomb. Double up from Kicksan. A safe pair of hands indeed. He's done his part in the round, and now he leaves it open to Kiyasuke to close. He's already down here giving chase straight away. Here's that bomb plant. Door swings open, and Spinks can't do a thing. It's Kicksan and Kiyasuke to keep this pretty for the Falcons.
Seeing everything that Kiyasuke has to offer here on this CT side. Reliable in his position, 4 kills on that pistol. Ever mobile, being put into positions to succeed and still making mid-round moves, still flanking lobby, assisting outside. He's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. 12-2, clutches up that round for Falcons and responds to MOUZ's 1-1 round. This deep molly, nothing that Exertion exploits. He waits for the smokes to come down before he crosses. He will make it pretty far. May break. They hear the footsteps, but he's got that secret control, this time unharmed. Yasuke committed. Smoke fade, high risk. He departs. Now he's coming around this corner. He has no supports.
Catches the first. There's the lineup. It takes the third man. Spinks on the swing to stop Kiyasuke. This is where Exertion is in the power position, watching on these vents. He's going to catch Nico at this drop down. At this point, Falcons know it's the lower play. And these rotates are going to be slow. They have to take the safer routes further away on the extremities. We'll go and clear out vent. That'll offer up the path to Kicksan. Even this is wasting time for the Falcons, clearing dead positions as Exertion has fallen back.
Oh.
Sat on the bomb is Spinks, watching over it, and as m0NESY looks for this, that's when Exertion is supposed to play, but he's been allowed to pluck one from the ranks. Kicksan moves in, missed shot for Torshi,
no.
And this might cost them dearly. Bomb planted for Exertion, this has to be his moment, and the clutch comes in. Exertion with a big round, his most impactful one in this series yet. But it takes everything from MOUZ for a second round.
Can't deny it got scary, right, when he doesn't swing to trade Monacy. Maybe felt like he missed his timing. After Spinks gets peeked in with the orb. Exertion hits that headshot, he spams the smoke, he saves MOUZ from another devastating round on his secret cross. Worth its weight. Late in the T side, 4 is all they can reach for.
Nico wants to crush some more dreams.
MOUZ, do they blend? Time to find out.
Just had a dropout for Exertion. Paws called in, really not the man to have it happen to.
We've lost 2 of them.
I mean, look, you can still go on and recover this half of your MOUZ. That's what you have to be telling yourself here. You don't have a lot of room left. I'd have an awful lot of runway. You've had to really fight for both the rounds you've been able to pick up. It's not over, it's far from it. And it's in these desperate moments, and MOUZ feel beaten, that you've seen them roll over and die in some of the most important games of their career. You don't want this to be another one on the stage.
And that's usually come off the back of, you know, at least something to celebrate prior to that, right? Talk about the Cologne final, they definitely crumbled. Spirit leveled up, but that was after MOUZ beat Vitality, beat their demon. MOUZ have nothing to celebrate so far. Map victory in the series, a win over VP Shaw. This was a game they could have crushed crowd favorites.
I don't know if it's great for MOUZ, this idea that in the beginning of the season, the one team they could never get past was Vitality. That was the only thing stopping them from being the best team in the world. It was the other best team in the world. But now that Rogues gallery is growing, right? It started with Spirit after the Vitality win, where they finally pick it up. They get it, well then Spirit go ahead and beat them thrice over. Now, Falcons looking to throw their name into that list of squads that can take down the MOUZ team. And at that point, you feel like you're slipping. You feel like you're losing your grip on being the top dog.
Yeah, the timing was there, right? We always felt this Falcons project building up was inevitable, that they would rise to be a prolific team at the top of Counter-Strike, forcing it through aggressive purchases. Now we're in that world. Can MOUZ come back, shake the monkey off their back? Will Falcons sweep this final map?
They have a golden chance here, right? They have the chance to break Falcons' money heading into the last round of the half, and that would see them through to a 4-round T-side. It's not a lot, but it is enough room to keep yourself in this game.
Definitely. But look at Kiyosuke. Again, the power position coming up secret. Monacy confirms what they already know. Exertion does find that entry, and Kiyosuke tucks in, hoping they're coming his way. Might not get rewarded. Of course, he's now in a position to punish any reaggression. MOUZ pulled a handbrake up. Top lobby for Jimmy. Full control outside, allowing a wrap around the world. And they don't know how much commitment there is lower, but Kiyosuke comes back up and he gets punished. There's more layers to that. Kicks in same position. Falcons trying to force this, will pay the price.
Tessa's going to die to back lobby if he's not careful. So fixated on this player up on T-Roo. If he's just open at that timing. You know, the presence of a second player on a secret cross almost feeds misinfo to Falcons as to the lay of the round. Kixan even taking one of the dome will at least finish off Torshi, but with Monacy blocked out, Kixan removed, and a play in towards A. MOUZ have stuck to the landing on this round. And with the money where it's at for the Falcons, they cannot begin to justify going for this.
Yeah, you know MOUZ want to take these guns away. So much value in removing Monacy's orb this deep in the half. There's one more. And do they realize MOUZ's still ramp?
Never saw him fire a shot, but maybe you can piece it together just based on where he hasn't been in this round. And yeah, they're all beelining for the ramp room now. MOUZ, they're coming from either side of him. And he's even got lower to worry about. It's only the tag. MOUZ on borrowed time. That is a punishing hunt from MOUZ, and it's put them in a position to succeed. A bit more mileage from exertion out in the yard.
Oh, MOUZ were going to save that AWP. They were trying to save the AWP. Two players crash at the end of the round. Disastrous. Torchy's had, what, one AWP in this T side and was on the upper hit, where it didn't even feel like the right gun for the job. And now a tech gets in the way of MOUZ giving him a second chance. Another brutal pause for MOUZ.
Look, sometimes extra layers of adversity push you even harder to overcome. And hell, I mean, it seems like it's working for Exertion, who is having a lot more impact on this T side. You know, MOUZ physically couldn't do this task without him. So at least him finding his footing a little bit more in the tail end of this first half has gifted them some rounds, right? A chance for 4.
I found that big triple kill where he killed NiKo in the vent, followed up with 2 in the 1v1. Previous round, found NiKo outside again on that smoke break. They dropped the AWP. And sure, even though MOUZ don't pick it up, remember the money for Falcons is poor here.
In some ways, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. You know, they're going to be down to pistols and armor.
I like that you're coping.
I've seen Torchy work a rifle brilliantly.
That is true. The things you got to tell yourself to keep your head in the game at this point, because yes, the score is dire for MOUZ, but it's not over. This is what the map comes down to. Final round, where MOUZ need 4 on the T side.
And they've got every reason to get it, right? In all essence, they've done the hardest part, which was breaking through, you know, after that insane 7-round streak from the Falcons. You break through, and not only that, now you've broken their money in the final round of the half. It's suddenly looked to reinvigorate you just a little bit. You know, moments ago, this felt like a daunting, hopeless task, but now you have something to hold on to. That's a man who doesn't seem too upset about not having his AWP. Well, she always wanted to try and look on the bright side.
Yeah, class clown. Players rejoining the server here for MOUZ. Tense tournament still. This side of the bracket open for the taking, with Vitality and Mongols in the semi-final on the other side.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that is the side you've been glad you're dodging, right? Down here, semi-final versus Aurora, you said it earlier on, but whichever team goes on to face them from this quarterfinal would be considered the favorites. Back in Vitality Mongols, that's a match that's got hell of a history and one that can go either way. 2 top squads facing off. The grand final placing. Lion's share, the $1.25 million prize pool available at EWC. So after the tech delay, we're right back in. Just to recap where we're at, Falcons, money broken. They've got one gun, one hero gun, put onto MOUZ. That's dropped over by Kicksan. who forgoes armor for that privilege.
I love that. It's the captain right there, setting up your stars to succeed at the behest of you.
This is a round that you just have to win, right? Your whole T-side is kind of built to this moment. This has to be your breakthrough. You've beaten the Rifles. You found a way in right at the tail end, right when it felt like all hope was lost. And in theory, this is your easiest round yet.
Yeah, it feels like you can't win the game if you lose this round with all the weight it carries. And so Falcons know they must make a gamble. They must run a risk. 3 here in the halls. Now set up util for the top site. Site that's let them down in this map so far.
Exertion's ready to main split. He's got the confidence again just to be left to his own devices out in the yard as well, which is nice. He doesn't need Brolin there backing him up.
His first 2 maps will be forgiven if he steps up here in the third and gets MOUZ over the line. Full execute, 2 mollies, only Monacy. Kickston's got no armor, as you say. Monacy needs a multi. Falcons have no kit for the retake.
Yeah, got to show us why he was entrusted with the hero gun. And Monacy displaced by the util. Forced down very low. No. It's the Kickstand armorless Eagle that's put some hope, some pep in the step of the Falcons. And now Nico and the rest of the gang come hunting. MOUZ, you can't let them in here. Torshi tries to keep them at bay. Tesses onto a guard, and Torshi bringing the pain. MOUZ scrape by with 4 on this T-side. Will that be enough?
Next!
Tough T-sides looking to be a fixture of this nuke. Let's see if Falcons can change the tune on that as they now swap over to the T-half. They held a commanding lead with 7 rounds straight to open up. I was able to find a couple more in at the tail end. Exertion has had a very quiet series, notably being a driving force behind that. It's him and Torshi both topping the charts here for MOUZ. Giving themselves a bit of breathing room. Let's see if they can make it a cause for concern. A win in the pistol carries tremendous weight if you want this comeback to happen, but it's not started strong. Torshi, top performer for MOUZ, fed to the Nico pistol to open this up.
Exertion on his recovery arc. Pistol would seal that fate, but only 1 kill. Tessa's even got out Huts. A-side opens up. Roland hears him running amok, but he can't do a thing to stop it. Shot in the back of the head, perhaps. m0NESY given a second chance at life and kicks him with a cover. That's Falcons converting this pistol. Jimmy just walks away. Kixon's had a hell of a game here. Even in offering up guns to his teammates, he is still top fragging in the server after this pistol round. T-sides have been difficult all tournament. Only 2 maps turning T-sided. Dust 2 and Overpass, but the caveat of that being it was MOUZ with great T-sides over VP. Falcons with a pistol. They have had trouble converting these across the series.
Just some huge gaps there that Falcons are able to exploit once they get the yard space. Force up for MOUZ.
Hit that for 9.
Falcons take it slow. You hear that scout fire off. You look at the scoreline, you know that this is a force from the MOUZ squad. So no one jumping the gun here.
Kyosuke taking yard on his own, worth noting. Nico back in the lobby in the pack. Every shot dodged, he makes it down. Jimmy, pixel gap, smoke. Oh, Falcons, yeah, don't want to call the bluff on that. It's stacked out to the 9s. Kyosuke's pulling back from Secret, so this could end in an upper bust. Only the scout could stop him, but Torshi's dropped in now. They go back to Exec with Kixon on roof. Can MOUZ put the stack here in time? Have they got the read? It looks like it, but will numbers be enough?
Torshi behind the sight on this scout. Gonna carry the bulk of the pressure. There's the support from Jimmy up on the rafters. Brolin double kill in the downtime, and Kixan might be having a great game, but a 1v3 at this health isn't happening.
That's a smoke setting up MOUZ to win the round. The smoke that changes the plan for Falcons, and sure, they have a backup. They have a plan B to hit that top side with utility as well. But Brolin clears out Kyosuke from Secret with the 5-7. And it's the FAMAS up in rafters from Jimpat. Multi-kill to stop that hit from Falcons. What a drive-by for Brolin. MOUZ read that round perfectly.
Yeah, at every stage, right? They had everyone in the right place.
And they just keep winning these forced by rounds. They lose pistols, it doesn't matter.
Break on the yard smokes, but one man's made it down. That's Kixan.
It's fine, you're not panicking rotates right now. As long as no one drops vent, we're all okay. So Jimpat takes it upon himself to rotate into the lower site. Oh, careful.
Still, Falcons are here on a very forward timing because of how quickly Kixan makes it across. Jimmy just gets dealt with straight away, thinking he's got a bit more room to work with there. And this is already dire straits on the round. They have to hunt down Tesses. They need this kill if they want to attempt the 4v4. Falcons have had time to get situated, and with 3 players coming ramp side, Spinks super late from Secret.
Nico can
This
win
retake
this.
might have to be slow That's allowed Falcons to get comfortable. Kiyasuke takes a swing with the Tech 9 out on a ramp. Just looking to thin the herd before this retake begins. It's Spinks' late play that MOUZ is still waiting for here. And only now showing his hand. He desperately needed this to be the kill. It doesn't come through. And that is limp for MOUZ. They put all their stock on this flank. And now they stand to lose everything up against the Falcons force buy.
Yeah, you called it. We didn't see how Nico got that kill on Jimpat, but that was the kill that opened up the round. The early drop of lower from Jimpat. But Falcons had so much space. He goes through the window.
That's the benefit to Kixan making it down on that forward timing. He already had the confirmation. Guys, there's no one here. They're not at the double doors. They're not jump spotting. There's no vent drop. That gives you so much safety on that run through lower. And it let them play with a real pace. There's Jimmy like trying to get set up and just play that headshot angle. You can jump there, play for info. Oh. Nico hits some blinders.
Yeah, he wins that round with 3 kills. So Falcons back on as MOUZ forced to force. All the odds in Falcons' favor at this point. All the unlikelihood of MOUZ recovering very late in this game.
We've said it a couple of times with Kixan, not the kind of guy to try and overcomplicate these rounds. He's just called for another B-walk here. They found a lot of success in that last round. So screw it, why not run it back? Until now, he's tried to use a mixture of things against MOUZ, but mainly it's the jitters, the nerves in this game, the fact that no one's feeling particularly sure of themselves. And you know, you've kind of seen that in the rotations. There's been over-rotates, there's been under-rotates. This one is an example of the latter. They don't respond to those yard smokes because they don't have the info. And so it's given Falcons open runway to plant this bomb in at lower, and it might just be a full 5-man save for both teams. A unicorn round here, as MOUZ have to try and keep these guns in play.
Yeah, if you think about it, right? If MOUZ lost everything here, they'd just be forcing till the game's over at that point. They would have to try and just win a round with less. Well, they've done it before. This one is not to be. Falcons just walk the walk silently down lower and win the round off position alone. Back-to-back call for Kixan is a knockout blow to MOUZ, and sure, they get another chance with the same buy. But now there is no room for error. If they want this game in regulation, 8 rounds required in a row for MOUZ. Falcons sit on the precipice of a semi-final against Aurora. An Inferno that looked uncomfortable, but a nuke that has come through clutch. Kiyasuke posting his best game yet at this event. That CT side impact was remarkable. And we might not even get time to see how this T side builds for him. Oh, a couple of keen tags for Torshi. Why not?
I mean, at this point, why not leave it a chance? Bit of smoke spam from the Torshi scout. Ooh. Even more follow-up damage. He's landed 2 wall bangs through this smoke. Spinks gonna catch a freebie on Kixan Crossing, who tries to run back this secret cross for the 3rd time in a row. And this time, MOUZ do put stock in that. They try and deal with it early. The bomb is away from the Falcons here, and if Nico falls, no one's gonna be able to retrieve it. So he has to be a little tapered in this aggression. Surely he's still just following through on the B aggro. Someone's got to go back and get this bomb. Kiyasuke could try, but he's got to go out into the middle of the yard.
Right now, they're just thinking about the next kill. Trying to force it. Zersh's just repositioned as well, so Tessers with a mistiming allows the rifle to the back of the bomb site. Bomb does get retrieved, but where are you really going with this?
That Exertion makes it out there doesn't feel inconsequential. He was getting split on from main and the door. Brolin going to confirm their suspicions about this lurker back in the lobby, and now it's just Nico. 1 versus 5, 15 seconds, and a combat save as MOUZ close in.
Coming for this one, they want the gun. They know if they're
going to wait till after time. You know you have him pinned in. You know exactly where he is. Nico, I think, is aware of this. And so going to try and play ahead of the timer. Forces the kill out of MOUZ.
And hey, Torshi, one kill, but how many scout shots did he hit? He tagged Nico, he tagged Kyosuke twice. He got a kill. May even be more I'm missing. A lot of value off of the sniper. This has to be, as I said, near flawless game here from MOUZ against the odds. m0NESY's AWP immediately. Falcons go back outside.
One down lower. Another walkout in the yard here for Falcons. Late smokes, they play ahead of it, looking for fights. Fights that Exertion is willing to give them. Chase here for Kyosuke. He closes straight in on Exertion. Finds a 4-on-4, keeps pressure on and continues trying to work this space out in the yard. Torshi, step up and stop him in his tracks. Returning the advantage to MOUZ, and I'm liking this mid-round move. Two players getting aggressive down on B. Kicksan with a big catch, but the fights are going to be forced here for this secret control, and Spinks will deliver. They're going to keep going. m0NESY here with his AWP. Trusty AWP in his hand, but a missed shot. There's Kicksan to bail him out. Wild shot for Kicksan, and the round's still going. Backstab from Torshi can stop it in its tracks. Playing discipline just for a moment, wasting as much time as possible.
Yeah, you don't risk letting the crowd give that away. You just take the shot as soon as you hear a jeer. m0NESY resetting as well, but 20 seconds, got to make up his mind. Throws the AWP out, AK up. 15 seconds, are you really going to try drop heaven at this point? Torshi's backside, he hears every step. Molly in your face, m0NESY comes through the fire, he hits the shot. Drop with the plant with a second to spare. m0NESY making magic happen. Jimmy giving it away, running amok. m0NESY picks a dangerous position. The kill will take it, and m0NESY finds the round.
Zona can't believe it, but that's what they pay this guy for. m0NESY, everything about that is pixel perfect. There was no other way to play that. He had to run through the volley, through the fire and flames. And that is a gut-wrenching round for MOUZ to give away. Torshi didn't even have to fight. That's the horrible part. That's the knockout blow.
Torshi dropping the molly. I mean, it just feels like a huge mistake.
That's going to be the back-breaking round for MOUZ. There's been many points in this series where you could have said, oh, it's all over, but that 1v2 from m0NESY, that is the game. There is a second of difference on winning this clutch and losing it to time. He had to play it exactly how he did, m0NESY, and yeah, that is the straw that breaks the camel's back here for MOUZ. Frustration sets in. Torshi knows that is a grave error, and it might have just cost them everything.
MOUZ just have to bite back. They have the better buy. But the feeling in the back of your head that Falcons are right there, and one mistake, one big play ends this series. Kyosuke creeping around outside again. Nico to give up some of his famed positions shows the value he expects from this young player, and in this game he's delivered. Ready to bust into this upper sight. There is only one man committed. Spinks checking out yard. Or floating around. Brolin on his own, holds strong for one.
As he backs up, he will have support. Torshi moving in from heaven. Spinks here as well. MOUZ digging deep. And Monacy, no clutch this time. Torshi gets his revenge.
Big 3K with the AWP makes up for it. And hey, you talked about trauma on Inferno. Well, Falcons, they're rife with it. 12-6 on Nuke. They've been here before. It cost them in Melbourne. Yeah, very different stakes, very different Falcons. But MOUZ are a team who don't go down lightly. Broken bye for Falcons, but a bye nonetheless.
I don't know if Ghosts of the Past hit quite as hard as the trauma of the present. MOUZ, it's very fresh. You've got to dig deep here. Torshi.
Yeah, he's putting that anger.
I mean, look, dude, if you've got a point to prove, if you can let the rage fuel you here. Torshi, a man known for the emotions, not afraid to let them creep into the gameplay. If he can harness that and level up right at the 11th hour, maybe there's hope yet. Doing all this to claw the game back. One misstep, one big round from Falcons, and it's all over. But for now, MOUZ keep themselves in this. The money broken for the Falcons T side.
Yeah, it's not as dire as you think. I think the kicker is that MOUZ gave up a match point, right? Could have won this in regulation. Now they're fighting for overtime. No guarantee at any point, as you say. But the money is a problem. The round count stacks up. 2 in a row for MOUZ. Full eco for Falcons. Quicker than you realize, this game's into double digits for MOUZ. You can never celebrate too soon in CS2. MR12 gives and it takes. Molly is perfect. Roland backside, Spinks on top. Ready for this rush.
Through the fire go the Falcons, and set ablaze by Spinks up top of the hut. Looking for a clean finish here, only losing Brolin to the eco.
Easy.
And so a quick repel of that top site hit. MOUZ, how much longevity does this have?
What do we go back to for Falcons? Is it just crossing behind the smokes? Is how they got into this game early on the T side, creeping down, unsuspecting Jimpat rotating in. Is it just keeping it simple here for Kixon? Letting his stars showcase their individual prowess. Smokes go outside, but it's all a bit of a ruse here for Falcons, faking out. Kixon lines up, I presume flashes for that top site. Zershan's got a spam. Finding Monacy in the door, that eases it up.
This is Kixan looking for the molly that knocks out the hut roof and the rafters. So speaking of the fact that they might look to end topside, but you wonder if that one kill on Monacy changes things.
I mean, it tells MOUZ that they weren't full stacking Secret behind the smokes. MOUZ are gambling on upper. They have no interest in that B site. Oh my God, Zershan's body claimed in lower, falls down the vent.
It's a hell of a pickup.
But you've only seen the lobby lurker in Tess's. That doesn't tell you much. As far as MOUZ are concerned, there could be more players down B. Silence is deafening. MOUZ rotating, uncertain. Even Brolin off that top site goes back up the ladder. No better time than the present, 45.
What a moment here for Doubt to creep in and take control over this round for MOUZ, but Falcons try and get tricky with it.
Bomb makes it.
Bomb made it down.
Jimpat on
the rest of Falcons are away. Kiyosuke gonna try and get out into lower. Caught with nades in hand, but they don't deal with him the first time. Trying to close in, Brolin will cover. 20 seconds left for the Falcons, and even though Nico's here, the bomb is lost, the site has fallen. And not time to rectify this round. It's another swing and a miss for the Falcons on their full buy. They're running out of them as this comeback is taking shape.
And not even a bomb plant to maybe give you a chance. If Kiyosuke's gun out there, I think he snaps shots up to Jimmy, and you have interest in that round. You have a chance to make it work. Instead, you have a half buy for Falcons, and then one more chance to close this out in regulation. Very quick, that 12-6 comes back to bite you. MOUZ want to make a mockery.
You hear that hype from Torshi. This was the guy slamming his desk when he gave away the 2v1 to Monesi that saw Falcons get on to match point. Well, that anger, that frustration has changed to determination. MOUZ know they're right here. They're one full rifle round away from overtime.
Yeah, but don't forget about the eco. Don't overlook the Tech 9. Jimmy's had a quieter map here in the third. Ramp just feels tempting for a half by.
Not an avenue that Falcons have explored yet.
They don't know what they're up against. They see that scoreboard. Maybe they exploit it. Smokes go outside, a prerequisite to almost anything. Nico's Deagle patrols yard, the rest in the lobby. Kicks in again, same util, maybe trying to run it back. They cancelled last time because of the door smoke. You got nothing to lose in trying on a half by. A-site's weakened by Spinks' rotation. In come Falcons.
Yeah, just an all-in hit. Tess says teed up with flashes. First kill for Jimmy as he holds strong. There's the trade back. Kiyosuke's Tech 9 and Nico's Deagle start to deliver. It's ended up even 3-on-3. You said you couldn't discount this type of round from the Falcons. They're showing us why. They play with a terrifying pace out and away. They catch MOUZ. And now it all hinges on this retake.
Nico's in the game-winning position right now. He's got the gun for the job.
Nico in a game-winning position on Nuke. A three-man grouping for MOUZ. All going to try and explode in through the top. Nico playing anti. They go early, but there's the transfer for Nico. It's down to this. 1v1. Was the comeback all for naught? Do Falcons take it here and now at a low buy? Bombs being held. Spinks ain't faking this. And kicks out, runs him down. Comeback denied. It's Falcons through to the semi-finals. As MOUZ crumble versus that fast top site hit.
Margins come close here for MOUZ, but Falcons squeeze it out.